In the quiet town of Elmswood, under a pale and distant moon, Emma met Daniel, a reserved yet charming man who seemed drawn to her as if by some invisible thread. They met in passing at the bookstore where she worked, and their connection blossomed over shared glances and whispered conversations. There was something magnetic, primal even, in his gaze, and she found herself both intrigued and wary. As the months wore on, she noticed peculiar things. Daniel disappeared every full moon, vanishing without a word, reappearing days later with cuts and bruises that he dismissed with a casual smile. He was protective, intense, and sometimes distant, as if hiding something he feared she might see. Her curiosity only deepened. One night, while Daniel was away, Emma heard screams in the woods near her home. Unable to shake her fear, she ventured out, clutching a flashlight in trembling hands. She stumbled upon a horrifying scene, a blood-soaked clearing where moonlight shone on fresh paw prints larger than any she'd ever seen. And there, at the edge of the clearing, lay a silver locket that Daniel always wore. She couldn't deny it any longer. The pieces clicked into place, his disappearances, his injuries, his haunted looks. Daniel was a werewolf. Heartbroken and horrified, she returned home, knowing what she had to do. She spent the following days preparing, gathering silver bullets and steadying her resolve. Daniel would come for her eventually. She knew he would. The beast within him would overpower whatever love he might feel. On the next full moon, she waited, heart pounding, the silver-loaded rifle clutched in her hands. As midnight neared, she heard the low, guttural growl outside her window. He was there, eyes gleaming yellow in the dark, his body contorted and covered in thick fur. Yet his eyes, they still held a trace of Daniel, a flicker of recognition. "Emma," he growled, struggling against the monster within. But Emma's hand was steady. Tears streamed down her face as she raised the rifle, whispering, "I'm so sorry." With a single shot, she ended his agony, her heart breaking as she watched him shift back to the man she'd loved. As the dawn broke, Emma stood alone, the memory of Daniel's gentle smile forever haunted by the savage creature he'd become. She left Elmswood shortly after, carrying the weight of her decision and the ghost of a love that was lost to the curse of the moon.